February, the month of commitment. It's over! Bradley On Demand has gone March mad! Dealers and managers, are you tired of long-term commitments and contracts? Well, this month, for the first time in the history of professional automotive sales, you can get access to the best training, tracking, testing, and certification platform with no commitment.
We've never done this before.
Not sure if we ever will again. So if you want to jump on and jump off Bradley On Demand at will, then text the two words no commitment to 267-551-6279 or email Tiana at dealersynergy.com with the words no commitment in the subject line. Do it now and you'll be able to one day sing this song.
I'm the millionaire car salesman. I'm a millionaire.
Which happens to be the name of this podcast.
Hey, everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy, creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And we got a special treat today. So I'm going to introduce first my head of our customer satisfaction CS performance management team, Franca Vidal Vamvakidis. And then Frank is going to announce our CRM specialist and our special guest. So Franca Vidal, introduce the people.
Hello. So as Sean said, I am Franca Vidal. I'd like to introduce one of our CRM specialists on our team, Trent Custer.
Hello. And then who's our special guest, Franca?
Our very, very, very special guest today is Robert DeGeorge from VinSolutions, and we are super excited to meet with him today.
Wow. Okay, this is exciting. We just had, Rob, I don't know if you know, we just had Craig Simpson at our office yesterday. So as you know, we've had this incredible relationship with VinSolutions for many, many years, where we've flown to Kansas City. And I tell the joke, it's like I felt like I was Forrest Gump on the ping pong team, and it was me on one side of the ping pong table, and there's like 9 Vin executives on the other side. And we're going back and forth, talking about processes, action plans, templates, psychology strategy, trying to, formulate a super system. So VinSolutions has been to my studios. I've been to your headquarters. We shot this incredible training series. And Mark Vickery, the head of performance management, says that Vin has done things with our company they've never done with anybody else. And we were just talking, and you said that, you're a fan of ours as well. So why is it that you like working with Dealer Synergy and our team so much?
I love working with Dealer Synergy. It's the enthusiasm, the energy that you guys bring, but also the professionalism and just the experience and knowledge base that the entire Dealer Synergy team has. So if I pinpoint it, those would be the key things.
I appreciate it. So today I'd like to ask a favor. I want to pull a favor. Sure. I'm always striving to do more, be more, and achieve more. And I feel that I am an advanced VinSolutions expert that has worked in over 600 VinSolutions stores. And on top of the 13 other CRMs that we work with. But you have some really interesting technology with the AI, the artificial intelligence with the Vanessa, which is a play on VinSolutions. Cute, I like it, I caught it. AMP, and then also with Automotive Intelligence. Can you first just kind of give a quick executive overview, a quick thesis statement on Vanessa, AMP, and Automotive Intelligence? And if you could just give us a quick walkthrough, and this was supposed to be private, and you were going to do this solely for our team. I was like, well, why be greedy? Why only share this knowledge for myself? I wanted to share it with my 25,000 friends and colleagues in our group. Okay, so what is Vanessa, and what is AMP, and what is Automotive Intelligence? Let's start there.
So yeah, at a 30,000 foot view, starting with Vanessa. So Vanessa is our virtual assistant and lives within the CRM. And Vanessa's purpose is to really engage your leads that are coming into the CRM, whether they're leads that are coming in outside of your normal business hours. So for instance, somebody submits a lead, let's say at 10:30 this evening, lead comes in from your website. Vanessa is going to be able to respond immediately to that prospect by engaging them via email, via text message. Vanessa is able to answer any questions about equipment on inventory. But what's great about Vanessa is that it's able to actually schedule appointments in the CRM and assign those appointments to your BDC, to your sales reps, so that when they come in the next morning, they've got appointments on the board ready to work. All right. So
I'm curious here. So is Vanessa activated within the CRM processes?
It is, yes, absolutely. And that's what makes Vanessa so unique compared to some of the other virtual assistants, is the fact that Vanessa lives within the processes, so you can really fine tune when you want Vanessa to reach out and when you don't want Vanessa to reach out.
Now, is there a stat that shows what the comparison is by having, because again, for example, if the average BDC has 4 BDC agents, and Vin calls them BD agents, utilizing an AI resource like Vanessa, would it be the comparable of a full agent, 2 agents, half of agent? Is there any type of quantification that you count on that, or am I not asking the right question?
It's tough to say, right? If Vanessa it's not there to replace, right? But more there to supplement and help BD agents to be more efficient. So I can't really say that there's any stats on if Vanessa is 1 or 2 or 3, the equivalent to 1 or 2 or 3 or half of BD agent. But what I can tell you is that we're seeing for our dealers, there's about a third of their internet leads are coming in outside of the normal business hours. And we're seeing that for our dealers that use Vanessa, the appointment set rate for leads that come in outside of normal business hours is 10%. For our dealers that don't have Vanessa, we see that their average appointment set rate on leads that come in outside of business hours is typically about 3%. So there's a huge increase when Vanessa is added to managing the overnight leads.
Okay, I love it. So that makes sense. I kind of understand Vanessa. Now, AMP. What does AMP stand for?
Yeah,
not the energy drink, right?
No, not the energy drink. No, so it stands for Automotive Marketing Platform. And I like to think of it as an automated marketing platform that is really there to retain customers by automatically engaging them when we see that they have equity, let's say in vehicles that they've previously leased or financed. AMP is going to be able to automatically engage customers with one-to-one vehicle replacement offers through a multitude of different channels: email, text message, direct mail. When I say direct mail, I'm talking about 6x9 postcards. And AMP's fully integrated into the CRM. So we can also generate tasks in the CRM and assign tasks anytime we see that a customer, let's say, engaged with email that AMP delivered to them.
Okay, so now there obviously VinSolutions, the core product, has the ability, without using like an auto alert or a auto soft or auto whatever. I mean, you can do data mining things in just the core CRM. That's correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And then you have a data mining, equity mining product, for example, like auto alert or automotive mastermind or what have you. How is AMP similar or different to the core capabilities of VinSolutions in data mining, equity mining versus a legit full-blown, data mining, equity mining? Is this the next evolution in that type of trajectory, or is it similar, or is it the same shit repackaged? Keep it real, bro.
I'll keep it real. Yeah. So it's a great question. So as those of you that are, know VinSolutions CRM, it comes equipped with a campaigning system built right into it, which allows you to do, some data mining. For instance, if you want to pull a list of previously sold customers that bought SUVs that have equity of, let's say, $1,000 or more, you can do that with the core CRM. The problem is it takes a lot of manpower. You've got to go in, you've got to set the campaigns up. You've got to create the email template to correlate with the campaign. You've got to launch it. And then you've got to track, the results of how many people engaged with the campaign and how many actually leads were cultivated from the campaign. But what AMP does differently is it automatically markets to the customer. So you don't have to set up the different segments or audiences that you want to send your messaging out to. That's predefined. And then once a customer fits the predefined criteria, AMP's going to automatically market to them, not through just email, but through a multitude. We call it omni-channel. So that's another big differentiator, is the fact that it's leveraging not only email, but automated text messaging goes out. We can use 6x9 postcards and send those out automatically. And then the other big differentiator that, separates AMP apart from our competition out there, such as the masterminds and the auto alerts, which are great products. But what really differentiates us is at Cox Automotive, we've got what we call DriveQ, and that's our business intelligence engine. And what that's able to do is pull and track customers' online shopping activities and behaviors from autotrader.com, kellybluebook.com, and then dealer.com, any dealer.com powered website. And so Cox has this vast, massive virtual real estate, right? We know about 2/3 of consumers that bought vehicles last year either touched autotrader.com or kellybluebook.com. We also know that dealer.com is 14,000 different dealership websites across the United States. So there's an extremely high probability that your customers today are out there shopping and researching online. You don't know about it. And what AMP does is AMP knows about it, and AMP's able to determine when customers are really interested in buying a vehicle, and they can automatically begin engaging them for you to try and influence them, to buy their next vehicle from your dealership.
Okay, now what's this automotive intelligence?
Yeah, so this automotive intelligence is a tool that uses artificial intelligence to give you insights about your customers. So it really boils down to 4 key features. There's what we call buying signals, which is similar to what I said just a minute ago with AMP, where we're tracking the online shopping activities and behaviors of your customers, and we're bringing those into the CRM. So now you can know that a customer that you marked as a lost opportunity, let's say 2 years ago, is back in market and is looking for a new model sedan priced between $30,000 to $40,000 and is very likely to trade in a 2017 Mazda CR-V, for instance. Not only that, but it also has another feature called engagement strength, which is ranking. Basically, it grades all of your sales leads that you're working in your CRM and allows you to identify the sales leads that are the most likely to become a car deal in the shortest amount of time. The third big feature that Automotive Intelligence brings is what we call sentiment intent analysis. Dealerships are getting thousands of text messages and emails. And so what the AI does is it analyzes those customer messages, and it determines the sentiment and the intent behind each customer message, and categorizes that in the CRM. So now you can go in there and quickly find disgruntled customers. You could find customers that have sent in messages about pricing, customers that have sent in messages where they've provided feedback. So you can quickly identify, people that you should probably go and keep track of, right? For instance, somebody sent in a message about pricing to, let's say, a salesperson that was out. Today we can quickly go in there and find who that customer is. We can read the message. And then lastly is what we call customer intelligence. What customer intelligence does is it gives you a bigger picture of who your customer is before you even speak with them or meet with them for the first time, by giving you insights such as, what's their age, occupation, what's their lifestyle and hobbies, interests, things like that. As well as, what their, do they have a family? How many kids do they have? Giving you kind of some really unique insights to help you connect with your customers better before you ever have a conversation with them.
Strong. Trent or Frank, do you have any questions so far?
No, I think it's all really impressive and can't wait to actually see it all and learn more about it.
Let's go. Share your screen, baby. Let's go. Let's
do it
first.
Let's do it. All right, so let's tackle the automotive intelligence first. Let me share my screen and we'll dive right into it. So we're going to talk about automotive intelligence first, all right? And so what you're looking at here is a live environment that we use to demo out of. I've set myself up as a customer, right? Let's imagine that this is your dealership, okay? And let's imagine that I'm somebody that, let's say, bought vehicles from you in the past, right? And maybe 3 years ago, I bought a vehicle from you, right? I'm probably in your sold delivered follow-up process. But the next time you might be scheduled to communicate or reach out to me or get tasked to reach out to me might not be for 6 months from now. And let's also imagine that I'm somebody that's been online shopping and researching recently, right? I've gone to Kelley Blue Book, want to get an idea of what my vehicle's worth that I'm considering trading out of. I've gone on to Auto Trader. I've looked at several new model sedans priced between 30 to 40K. And I've even gone to a few dealership websites powered by dealer.com and looked at some specific model sedans on those sites. Now, you've got no idea that I'm doing this activity, but when you have automotive intelligence, what you gain is something called buying signals. So anytime we see that your customer went online and started shopping those websites I just mentioned, you're going to get a notification called a buying signal task. That buying signal task is going to allow you to go into my customer profile and see that, hey, look, my guy, Rob DeGeorge, is out there actively shopping for vehicles right now. And so what this is doing is it's pulling the most recent 90 days of my online shopping activities and behaviors, and it's basically predicting my propensity to buy a vehicle. So in this example, it's saying that I'm actively shopping. And again, if I haven't submitted a lead to your dealership or any other dealership, you know that, hey, look, this is somebody I should probably be focused in on if they're actively shopping. Would you agree?
Yes.
Now, not only do you know that I'm actively shopping, but what it's doing is it's predicting what I'm going to buy. And the way it does this is it knows exactly what vehicles I've looked at. It knows exactly what I've been searching for in the most recent 90 days, my online activities on Cox websites. And so now you can see things that, hey, look, he's very likely to buy a body style that's a sedan. He's very likely to buy a new model inventory type. He's leaning towards Nissans and Toyotas, specifically Toyota Camrys and Nissan Maximas are the models. You can even see that, the price point of the vehicles that I'm looking at is between $40K to $60K, and I'm leaning towards gasoline powered vehicles. But, if I was looking at hybrids, this would tell you that. So not only do you know that I'm actively shopping for vehicles, but you know what I'm interested in. Now we take it a couple steps further. Remember, I talked about we're pulling from kellybluebook.com. So I was on Kelley Blue Book, let's say a few days ago. And what this is telling you is that I'm very likely to trade in a 2013 Mazda CX-5. So not only do you know that I'm in the market and you know what I'm interested in, but now you know that I'm very likely to trade in a vehicle. And if you want a clearer picture, what we're doing for you is we're pulling in all the online clicks from any Auto Trader visits, kellybluebook.com visits, or if you have a dealer.com powered website, we're going to allow you to see any visits that I looked at or exhibited when I went to your dealership, your dealer.com dealership website. And why that's powerful is because, hey, it shows us that this customer is very likely to trade in a Mazda CX-5, but we can get even deeper. And what I mean by that is you can see, for instance, that on February 15th, Rob was on kellybluebook.com at 12:09 p.m. And if you want to see the exact page that I was looking at on that date and time, you just click into it. And now you can see that, hey, look, he punched in this Mazda CX-5. He says that the condition is good. And now it's showing you exactly what I saw, which is that, hey, look, this trade-in value is between 8,700 to roughly 10,900. So what do you do with this kind of information, right? You're probably asking yourself that question because it could be creepy. We don't want to pick up the phone and call Rob and say, Rob, what's going on, buddy? You bought from me 3 years ago, and I see that you're online and you're looking at new model sedans. Why haven't you reached out to me? That's going to creep me out, and I'm sure it's going to creep out 99.9% of everybody else in this country if we approach the call like that, right?
Right.
But what we can do with this data is instead we can pick up the phone and we can reach out and say, hey, Rob, checking in with you, man. I know it's been a while since we talked. I appreciate your business. I've always liked to check in on my customers, about a referral program here. And also I just got done having a conversation with our used car manager. You don't by chance have any or know of anybody that's got a mid-sized sedan that's looking to trade it out. Right now, we're looking for RAV4s, Mazda CX-5 specifically. Do you by chance know someone that's got one that they're looking to get rid of? And that's an example of the type of conversation that we can have when we have this type of data and we know this type of activities happening.
So go back. Let's start from the beginning. So let's go clear that screen.
Sure.
When we log into Vin.
Yep.
Okay. So show me where we're going to access this again.
Yeah. So if we go into our task page in Vin, right? And we scroll down, anytime we see an icon of this light bulb, that's telling us that new online shopping activity has been discovered. And again, we call those buying signals.
And to be clear, so the automotive intelligence is only field intelligence that's gathered from the online shopping from the Cox network. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so clear. So when we go into our task, so we start the day, whether I'm a sales rep or I'm a BDC, if I come in, click task, and I see that light bulb basically means that there's some type of automotive intelligence, field intelligence that I have got, correct?
Correct. Yeah. It's telling you that, hey, look, this is somebody that's been online shopping. You should probably take a look and see what they're doing.
Okay, now, this is important. These people, would you say always, never, or it's mixed, have not submitted a lead already?
A large portion of them have not submitted a lead.
Okay, already. So that's fine. So I want to make sure we're clear. So we're sitting there at our terminal, our VinSolutions terminal, and then this just pops up. So does this create it as a lead form as well, or no? The only So there's no lead to follow up with. The only way that we could track all these things is through our tasks.
No.
Okay,
So I'm glad you asked that question. So what we've done is we've also created a dashboard. And so we call it the Automotive Intelligence dashboard. And so if you go into the Insights tool, if you're an admin or you're a manager, you jump into the Insights module. And then once you're in Insights, you're going to search for Automotive Intelligence. And when you click on that Automotive Intelligence dashboard, it's going to open up. It's going to look a little something like this. And what's great about this dashboard is that you've got the ability to see right now how many customers have buying signals within your dealership. In this example, it says 12,318. But what we do, Sean, to make it really easy is we say, hey, out of that 12,318 people that we see are out there shopping online, we're telling you that out of that number, 7,400 of them do not have an active lead with you right now. So they're not in any kind of active lead sales process, right? There's more than likely no one's got a task to communicate with those 7,400 people. And we really help you on this dashboard identify out of that 74 the low-hanging fruit.
Pause right there. So I know I'm rounding up a little bit, but that means there's a net 5,000 that actually submitted a lead.
We can tell you
if there's a total of 12, I'm just rounding up. If there's a total of 12,400, buying signals out there, there's a 12,400 unique people that have buying signals. You're telling us that I'm rounding down, 7,400 of them have not submitted a lead. So based on your English, you know what I mean? That means that there's 5,000 people that submitted some form of a lead. Am I misunderstanding that?
Not necessarily. We'll tell you that the people that have submitted a lead, which is right here. So you can see that out of the 12,000, there's 2,500 roughly, or almost 2,600 that do have leads with you.
Okay, so where's the net 2,500? Like, and I'm not bullying you. I'm excited about this. I'm just confused. But you did say that, then what's the 12,000? I'm rounding up 12,004. 12,004 is the total unique people. If 7,400 did not submit a lead, the net number is not 2,500, it's 5,000. So where are the other 2,500? I'm confused. What are those people?
Out of the 12,000, it's saying that 7,400 of them, right, don't have an active lead. And it's saying that about
2,500 do.
2,500 do, correct.
So we're missing 2,500 people. Who are those people? What category are those?
Orphan. We've got some of them are orphaned.
Okay. It's all right. I didn't mean to stump you. It's okay. So we could go back to that. Not a big deal. Here's what I'm going at then. So again, the way that my mind processes, I'm a Franklin Covey trainer. Yeah. So I was taught by Dr. Covey, that put first things first. Be careful of distraction disguised as opportunities. So my question is this: which is the higher level opportunity? The ones that have the leads, the 2,500? Because if they're already in my CRM for whatever reason, now I've got this extra field intelligence that could help me, be better? Or is it the 7,400 that have not even submitted a lead? In VinSolutions from corporate, what do you think is the highest probability of engagement and conversion? The 7,400 number, which is volume, or the 2,500 that have some type of signals?
Yeah, these are definitely these are the folks that you definitely want to focus in on. But
let's talk about them real quick then, okay? Because you started off about, which I love, but I'm excited about that because I would agree with you. You know what I mean? So how would somebody leverage that field intelligence in here? So if I'm understanding, one of those 2,500 might be somebody, let's say Franca. Franca submitted some type of internet purchase request from the website, from a third party, whatever. They're in our CRM as an actual lead in some way, shape, or form. Simultaneously, this example dealership, this imaginary dealership, also has automotive intelligence. So now it's almost like an adrenaline or steroids, metaphorically speaking. Now that lead is got like an adrenaline shot to it, or it's got a steroid booster on it. It's got performance enhancement drug, right? Like it's basically making that lead more valuable because of this more field intelligence. Am I understanding this logic the right way or no?
Yeah, you are. You absolutely are.
So how would somebody engage that prospect there? One of the 2,500 that's a lead and automotive intelligence. Can you give me a scenario, a word track, an engagement point?
Yeah. So for instance, let's say the lead comes in, right? And we go in and we look at the buying signals, and two things that stand out in the buying signals. One, maybe it shows us that that person's also considering a different model than what they submitted their lead on, right? So for instance, if you're a Mazda, or for instance, let's say you're a Honda dealership and the lead comes in on a Honda CRV. Well, when you look at the buying signals and the online activities for that lead, you see that they've also looked at, let's say, a RAV4. Well, one of the things you want to make sure of in your back pocket is that when you do communicate with that customer, you're building the value in the CRV compared to, let's say, some of the other similar model SUVs. The other thing that can be really insightful is that we talked a little bit how this can show you, it predicts how likely somebody is to trade in a vehicle. And if in the buying signals, you see that they're very likely to trade in a vehicle, obviously that's something that you want to make sure of and you're bringing to light in your conversation, right? Hey, look, our used car department, we're always looking to buy vehicles from customers. Do you by chance have one of these vehicles? If so, we'd be willing to give you over $500 Kelley Blue Book value for it. Because today,
I love this. I think this is freaking brilliant, but I do have some pushbacks, questions, not in a bad way, just as a car guy, you know what I mean? So I have 23 years automotive experience. So this field intelligence is like candy, like to a kid to me. Like, I love this. I could extract so many different little points to go into the trade hook, or like you said, if I'm doing my full features and benefits product presentation, or I'm doing like a conversation, I could consistently articulate, because they don't know that I know that they're looking at ABC competitor, that alternate brand. So as I'm doing my presentation, I could turn around and talk about the things that make this product better. If I don't have that competing brand. So if I'm a Mazda dealership and they're looking at, Toyota, for example, or Honda or whatever it is, if I'm Mazda, as I'm trying to explain, why my Mazda is better, I'm not saying, hey, it's better than this, but I am using things that I know are better than the competing product. Another thing might be that if I have that competing product as another new car brand, I have, different points that I could articulate. Or if it comes to it, I might have that car as a pre-owned. Okay, so that's on the car level. On the field intelligence level for the trade is, in my opinion, is one of the best TO tools for any TO manager with the trade hook. Because there's no two used cars that are the same. You could give people hope. Like, hey, Mr. Customer, if your vehicle is in good condition, I might be able to get you more for your vehicle than it's worth. I love that. And then, does this do financial information so we could get a heads up on credit score, credit situation, prime, subprime, things like that, or no?
It does to an extent, right? There's another feature of this called customer intelligence. And so what customer intelligence does is it brings in other insights outside of the online shopping activities, such as, what's their profession, what's their, or when I say profession, like what's their occupation, and what's their household net worth is something that this can bring to the table, bring to light, so that before you ever make your first call, that, hey, this is somebody whose household net worth is between $400,000 to $500,000 a year.
Right. Oh, wow. This is pretty strong. Now, here's my question though, is what type of training or playbooks do you give? Because again, as a trainer, sometimes it's hard for like the dealership to get the salesperson to do the road to the sale. Let's be honest. It's hard for them to freaking fill out a credit app or fill out a buyer's order or fill out a trade appraisal the right way. How difficult has it been for you guys to be able to get the salespeople or the BDC to utilize this? Do you have a playbook? I know some data mining, equity mining companies have a playbook that they're able just to, have like shortcuts or whatever. So what's the reality when it comes to implementation and utilization from your clients?
Yeah. So when we first unveiled Automotive Intelligence, I'll tell you that some of our dealers struggled to understand how to really utilize the data that we've talked about from these buying signals. So one of the things that we put in place recently was obviously a fantastic training program, that's available 24/7, 365, our performance managers. But the thing that we really did that helped quite a bit was we created processes in the CRM for these buying signals, so that anytime a customer is, let's say, actively shopping or ready to buy, those are two terms that we use, that the AI uses to predict somebody's likelihood of or propensity to buy is that it will actually trigger a process which then can tee up phone call tasks. And we've provided phone scripts that correlate with those phone call tasks so that when a team member gets that task, they understand why they're making that phone call, but more importantly, how to approach the conversation or what questions to ask.
That's what I was looking for, brother. I mean, like, I just gave you a freaking layup and you just slammed the shit. That's because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've got thousands of rooftop clients, and that's what they're gonna need to hear. They need to hear, look, we've got training. Not only do we have training, we make it Forrest Gump simple. We've got scripts, we've got word tracks, and all we outline the alphabet. I mean, we've got the template of what to do. All you've literally got to do is pull the levers. Am I hearing it's that simple?
Yes, sir. That's
okay.
correct.
Before we transition, because I want to get the demo and the other ones. Besides, we don't want to give them all. I mean, we got to give them reasons to call you for a demo, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, can you give me a couple best practices? You don't have to give any dealers names, but I would like you, if you could, and this is totally freestyle, guys. I promise you, you know who I am. I keep it real with you guys. We didn't rehearse this. This wasn't even planned to go on here. If it was, I would have fucking promoted it with marketing and advertising. This is just, I decided let's go live stream. But my question to you is, who are not by name, but just like what people are the best at this, and how do they use automotive intelligence? And not just the best practices, but I want to know, okay, before this was implemented into the dealership, you're Cox Automotive, you have freaking case studies. Like, I want to know, before this shit was put into the store, what was the dealership doing? And let's just bottom fucking line me, putting this in, what was the net lift? Because that's all dealers care about. Talk to me.
Yeah. So what we found was a couple of things. Number one, we found that when our AI predicted that a customer was ready to buy, those people were 15 times more likely to buy a vehicle in the next 30 days. We also found when somebody was actively shopping, those people were 7 times more likely to buy a vehicle in the next 30 days. We found that the AI predicts with 90% accuracy the correct model of vehicle that the person actually ended up buying. But the kind of lift that we saw, to answer your question, I mean, we dropped that right.
Stop sharing your screen for just a second.
Yeah.
Stop sharing just at the bottom. Okay. I want to say something, folks. Okay, look, and you could quote me on this later on in your demos that I said this. Okay. We need to change shit, folks, in this industry. We keep doing the same recycled bullshit over and over and expecting things to change. That's the definition of insanity. I mean, if you think about Netflix to Blockbuster, Amazon to Macy's, or H&M or whatever, or you look at Uber to Yellow Cabs, or DoorDash to restaurants and things like that. I mean, technology has evolved the functionality. Over the last 23 years I've been in this industry, there's been some cool tech on certain levels, but not really at the dealer level. There's internet and there's this and there's that, but how do we manage those leads? There's no strategy. It's almost, and I'm Belizean, so you guys can't say the shit I'm about to say. It's like having a Belizean sweatshop in these BDCs, right? So like, it really is. It's like, make some calls. There's no logic at the time of day you're calling or who you're calling. You just got a shit ton of leads in your CRM, and it's like a sweatshop. Call. It's utterly absurd. What we need to be able to do is start using logic and strategy and intelligence. Let's not keep doing the same shit over and over again and be like, I did my follow-up for today. I called 120 people and 4 people answered the phone today. Great productive day today. No, if this man is saying that is a 90% accuracy, if he's saying that people, the last one was 7 times likely to buy and all this other stuff, to me, that makes more sense, because you can't make more minutes. You can't make more time. And this is what I try to preach at Dealer Synergy through the Franklin Covey, disciple that I am, is you got to put first things first. Be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. Not everything is equal. Not everybody is equal. Every lead is not the same. Every person is not the same. If you could use and have a freaking unfair competitive advantage, I repeat that, if you could have an unfair competitive advantage and know who do you have that you're going to have a higher probability of engagement and conversion, that's who you want to tackle first. You don't want to tackle the person that's not ready to buy because they're top funnel lead. They're not going to turn around and buy for another 90 to 120 to 150 days. You want to try to figure out who can I shake the trees and sell a car today? I mean, we don't have that luxury in the automotive industry. We are a month-to-month industry, from the OEMs to the dealerships, etc., from incentives, bonuses, money, period. So if I'm understanding, what you're saying is that this software utilizes like artificial intelligence, logic, and it's backed by a gazillion dollar, like multi-billion dollar organization that's like the freaking nice Illuminati, because you own all the shit out there. You own all the major, third-party provider websites. You own the major website provider out there. You own the damn, V Auto inventory, the banking software, Dealer Track. You own all that shit. And so somebody in the Illuminati puppet strings up there, basically decided to sew the shit together, and it's a big ass net. And you're just scooping the fish in while the local dealership is sitting there with the fucking fly fishing reel. You know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? You're sitting there casting the net in and dredging the ocean for all the fish. Is that a good analogy?
That's a great analogy.
All right. Then I want residuals when you start using that shit. I'm only kidding. But I'm excited about it because I'm tired of doing the same shit over and over again, man. Yeah. I want to do more, be more, and achieve more. And I can't do this if I'm in the Flintstones. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I could turn around and have the dinosaur as my shower, or I could freaking have, the Jetsons, and it's that level. And this is more Jetsons than it is Flintstones. And that's what we need to do, is we need to get out of the antiquated, archaic, Triassic, era and go into the 2023 and beyond. Okay. I love it. All right. So next, what's the next product you're going to show us?
The next product I'm going to show is going to be, let's go with Automotive Marketing Platform.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Dealer Synergy is an award-winning training, consulting, CRM, recruiting, and accountability firm. We are a 13-time Dealer Choice Award winner. We have proudly served automotive dealers for 20 years and have trained over 150,000 automotive sales professionals. We've worked with over 3,700 rooftops across the country, not including our global clients in Canada, Russia, the Dominican Republic, and more. We are the most sought-after subject matter experts and pioneers of the automotive industry. Our executive team has a combined 75-plus years of automotive industry expertise at the highest level. We've literally taken dealerships from having challenges and problems, some even on the brink of bankruptcy, to becoming national success stories.
Dealer Synergy had really helped build something from the ground up. You guys have made me fall in love with what I've always loved to do. I give credit to Dealer Synergy.
I just hired 8 people, and Dealer Synergy HR really was critical in me being able to do it.
You provided the training, you helped us with our CRM. You provided a solution for a lot of things that I was looking for. Our people loved LA, what Karen has done for me personally. Franca, her communication back and forth. You've got a really solid group of people.
Having somebody like Sean and his company that knows automotive, so the marriage between what knowledge he possesses and the fact that he has this great video production staff, it gives you the best of both worlds. So I would certainly recommend them.
Sean comes in the dealership and he advanced us light years ahead of our competition.
Just an absolute leading edge training company.
Go to BradleyOnDemand.com and give your team access to the best automotive training in the world.
Okay, automotive marketing platform for 200. Rob, let's go.
Let's go. Okay. Let's do it. All right. So let me pull my screen back up so you guys can see, and we'll kick this off again. And personally, this is like my favorite product, right? I've been with Vin, be 11 years in March, and out of every product that I've seen unveiled, AMP by far has gotten me the most excited. And the reason why it's gotten me the most excited is just how versatile it is and how it's able to really take in your data as a dealership to automatically and effectively communicate with your customers, to really try and entice them and influence them back into your sales funnel, or into your service funnel for that as well. Like, there is some service capabilities. So just to kind of start off at a 30,000 foot view, right? Sean, you just talked about it. Like, Cox Automotive, we've got like all of this data, right? And so how do we use this data, to start? We talked about how with Automotive Intelligence, right? You can use this data to have better conversations with customers and get excited and not just treat every lead like it's the same lead, right? Well, what our automotive marketing platform aims to do is automatically begin reaching out to your customers that are exhibiting those buying signals, and then also much more. But I just want to point this out, like at Cox Automotive, we see 24 billion plus interactions between autotrader.com, kellybluebook.com, and dealer.com sites. And so this is what we refer to as DriveQ. That's our business intelligence engine at Cox Automotive that's tracking and monitoring the online shopping activities and behaviors of your customers. Okay, just want to make sure that everybody's familiar with that, because that's all first-party data that we're using here at Cox Automotive. And as we know, consumers today, they typically spend an average of about 10 hours shopping online before they end up buying a vehicle. So we're going to start, I'm going to show you how AMP leverages this data to automatically market to your customers with very relevant, timely offers. Okay. So at a 30,000 foot view, what is AMP? Well, it's a data mining tool, right? And what we're doing is we're pulling data from your DMS system, right? You've got years and years of sold transaction and service transaction history that we're pulling from. In addition to that, we're also tied to the CRM. So we're pulling data about when's the last time you communicated with your customers. We're pulling active leads. We're pulling lost leads, we're pulling sold leads, we're pulling demographic data from the CRM, and we're feeding that into AMP. And then in addition, we're leveraging that DriveQ data, all the online shopping activities and behaviors your customers exhibit online. We're funneling that into AMP, and then we're also tied in with the OEMs, and we're pulling in rebates and incentives into AMP, all right? And so with AMP, it's not only a product, but it's a service. And that's why in this graphic, you see the icon of the person here. We're going to provide a marketing account manager to help support this, to ensure that there's very specific campaigns that are going out to your customers, right? And so really, when I say campaigns going out to your customers, the marketing account manager is actually designing the email templates. They're designing the phone scripts. They're designing the text message templates. They're designing the 6x9 mailer postcards that can go out, so that you as a dealership, you don't have to do that heavy lifting yourselves. And really what it boils down to, as far as the output of AMP, as far as the product and service is concerned, is you've got really 4 key categories of campaigns. You've got sales-oriented campaigns, service-oriented campaigns, brand awareness campaigns, and then ad hoc campaigns, right? So what happens with AMP on a monthly basis is that there's 18 different segments that we're going to go after. And once a customer falls into a segment, AMP's going to automatically begin engaging the customer with a multitude of different communication channels, right? Emails, texts, phone calls, 6x9 mailers. And so what this is doing here is showing you out of the box with AMP, these are the 18 different segments that we're going to go after. Okay. So if you turned AMP on at your dealership tomorrow, we're looking for customers who have a lease ending in the next month. We're going to begin marketing to anybody that fits that criteria. We're looking for folks who have leases ending in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. Okay. And we're going to be automatically engaging those customers. Outside of lease retention, we're also going after the folks that are out there shopping online that you don't know about. And those are the buying signal customers we talked about with Automotive Intelligence. So we're going to go out there. We're going to find the people that are browsing. Those are the people that are just beginning their car shopping, and we're going to begin engaging them automatically. In addition, we're going to go after people that we classify as actively shopping. We're going to go after them. Those are the folks that are 7 times more likely to buy. And then lastly, we're going to go after the people that we classify as ready to buy. Those are people that we see have actually submitted leads and are 15 times more likely to buy a vehicle in the next 30 days. Outside of that, we're also going to do a bit of equity mining. So we're going to go after customers that have equity in vehicles, that have 6 months remaining on their loan. We're going to be engaging them with one-to-one vehicle upgrade offers. We're also going to go after the people that have equity that don't have any payments remaining. We're going to engage them with one-to-one vehicle upgrade offers. We're going to go after the people that don't have, the people that have service but have never bought from the dealership before. We're going to go after people at high interest rates that are eligible to lower their interest rate and get into a newer vehicle. We call those high APR with equity. And then we're also going after people that have been into your service department in the past 3 months with vehicles that, are getting up there, that have 70,000 miles or more on the odometer. We're going to engage them with upgrade offers. And then another big thing from a sales point of view is we're going to also do active lead re-engagement. Any leads that are 30 days old that haven't been contacted in the last 7 days, AMP's going to also begin engaging those folks. And then lastly, for service, there's really three service campaigns that are going to go out. Those are what we call service reminder. We're going to find anybody who hasn't been in for service in the past 6 to 12 months. We're going to engage them. We're going to go after what we call your service defectors, customers that have service with you, but it's been anywhere between 1 year to 3 years since their last service appointment. We're engaging them automatically. And then lastly, your sold never service customers. Those are anybody that bought from you in the past 2 years that have not, or excuse me, in the past 6 months to 24 months that have not brought their vehicle in for repair or maintenance. They're probably going elsewhere. So we'll engage them as well. So I know that's a lot. It just threw a lot at you, but but these are very specific segments, right? And it's important to engage these customers because there's opportunities to acquire vehicles, right? Talk about sourcing inventory. Well, equity mining is a great way to do that. And let me show you like a specific example of how AMP could work, right? So let's imagine that, Sean, let's do a little role play here. Let's imagine that you're a Honda dealership, okay? And let's imagine that you have VinSolutions and you have AMP, okay? And let's imagine that I was a customer that came in and I financed a brand new Honda Accord from you 3 years ago, right? Let's say that today I've got 6 months or less remaining on that Honda Accord. I've made my payments. I've actually made more payments and I've got equity in that Honda Accord, right? So what happens is AMP says, well, hey, this guy, Rob DeGeorge, we see that he's got equity and we see that he falls into our desirable equity campaign. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Rob up automatically with an email. And what that email is going to do is it's going to have it's going to look a little something like this. Excuse me, I said Honda Accord. Let's say I bought a Honda Civic from you, okay? And this email is going to automatically hit the customer's inbox via email. It's going to say, hey, Rob, great news. You can upgrade your 2017 Honda Civic to this new 2022 or 23 Honda Civic. Now, what AMP does is it looks at your inventory, and it's also looking at my most recent 90 days of online shopping activities, and it's saying, hey, look, we see that Rob is more than likely going to buy a new Honda Civic. And so what it's doing is it's looking at your inventory, and it says, hey, you've got a Honda Civic that matches the ones that Rob's been looking at online recently. So it's going to automatically drop in a stock number for a new model Honda Civic. Now, I get the email, and let's say I don't even open it. I ignore it. Well, AMP's going to know that I never looked at that email. And what it's then going to do is going to say, you know what? Let's leverage text. It's going to zip out a text message. That text message is going to hit me. It's going to look a little something like this. Great news, Rob. You can upgrade your 2017 Honda Civic. Let's say I ignore that text message, right? I don't do anything with it. Then what AMP can do is it can say, you know what? Let's hit up Rob via postcard. So first class 6x9 postcard, it zips out the same exact message, the same exact offer. Snail mail's not dead, folks. This hits my mailbox. I come home from work and I say, that's interesting. I've been out there, right, shopping for new vehicles online. I've been looking at Honda Civics. I've got equity in the one I bought from you 3 years ago. This is a relevant message. This is a relevant offer. And so what I do is I come inside, I drop this down. It's got a QR code right on there. I pull out my phone and I say, that's interested. I want to get started with this offer. So I scan the QR code. What that then does is it automatically takes me to a personalized landing page on your dealer.com site. And it also at the same time creates a sales lead. So just give you a little bit of a visual of what that personalized landing page would look like if I scan the QR code. It's going to take me here. And this is something that's exclusive with AMP and dealer.com sites, as it's reiterating the details of the offer. But at the same time, Sean, it's created a new sales lead in your VinSolutions CRM, which then means I'm in a process, which means your team is now going to begin engaging with me to try and schedule that appointment. Now, the beauty of this, right, is that it just didn't send an email and say, we're done. No, did a lot more than that, right? It sent the email and it knew that I didn't look at that email. And as a result says, you know what? Let's try a different message, or excuse me, a different channel. Sent me the text. I didn't do anything with the text. So now it knows to send me the 6x9 postcard. I scan that postcard. As a result, it creates a new sales lead in your CRM and tees your sales team up to begin engaging with me. Does that make sense?
Yes. Got a couple questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So one, let's go back to Vin technology. In Vin, you have SMS and you have MMS for the fledglings in the podcast world, in the group that are paying attention to this, that basically means is if you have regular text message capabilities versus multimedia text message capabilities. With VinSolutions, if you've got MMS capabilities, you can actually create text message templates, text message automation. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. I have been a massive proponent on video for a very, very long time. I wrote an international best-selling book called Win the Game of Googleopoly about Google. And here's some facts that I know. Video email increases read open rates up to 300%. Not an opinion, it's a fact. Video has sight, sound, motion, and emotion versus the science of communication. Text, or the words we use, email, are only 7% of communication, comprehension, clarity, excitement. Tone and inflection, sound is only 38%, whereas visual perception and body language is 55%. So the point is, video is incredibly powerful. As a matter of fact, Dr. McQueevy from Forrester Research said that 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million written words. I'm not opposed to email. I'm not opposed to text messaging. I'm not even opposed to traditional mail. However, I'm praying my answer that you're going to give me is what I'm looking for. Is there a possibility utilizing AMP with video email and video text messaging? Now, before you answer that, the way that we do that in Vin is we use a conduit like BombBomb or CoVideo. I prefer BombBomb over CoVideo by far, but we use that platform and the HTML like in the email section or the text message section of VinSolutions. So now, can AMP support video email campaigns and video text message campaigns?
Great question. So it can support video email campaigns. Today, it cannot support video text campaigns. At the moment, the text messaging capabilities through AMP are SMS only.
Okay, but in that, you could at least have a link in the SMS portion, correct?
That's what we do, is we make sure to drop a link in that text so that, if they click the link, it can take them to a video, like a landing page for a video, right?
Well, my question is this though, but are you able to put HTML in the text message?
Yeah, absolutely. And
so then is like, what if we did it that way? You know what I mean? Can you stop sharing your screen for a second?
Sure.
So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to show you my screen. Wow, I scream, you scream, we scream for ice cream, right? There we go. Yeah, I'm logging into my VinSolutions CRM. And as you see, these are just some of my clients. This is my own store.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. We the real deal Holyfield. So now, you ever watch Lion King?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Grew up on it.
Well, watch. When I show you what I'm going to show you, I want you to Mufasa me. Meaning, when you say Mufasa, you're going to start to shiver. Watch this, brother, man. Look at all of these.
Woo!
Cut. This is what $150,000 looks like. This is massive amount of customized processes for every aspect. Now, let me just tease you with something. Each one of these processes is methodically done in Spanish and in English. I said that. So look, these are super dope processes, but I want to show you one where we're using video, because maybe if I show you what I'm trying to do here, because I'm going to tell you right now, if we could do it this way with the text message, it's game on, like Donkey Kong. Here we go. So watch this. This is what BombBomb looks like in the integration. So this is just HTML. It's not putting the video in here. Okay, this is an animated GIF that gives the illusion that it's video, which increases the read open rates. So again, if I could turn around and put an HTML in here like this, that's got an animated GIF, you know what I mean? Now, I even have an integration with Calendly. The reason why is our research shows that when somebody makes their own appointment, time and date themselves, it increases up to 80+% completion. That means if it's a appointment to talk to you on the phone, or it's an in-store appointment. So now watch when it works here. And I'm not demoing BombBomb. I'm just trying to show you. When we click this, it jumps you to.
Hello, my name is Tiana, or T from tgotyourkeys.com. I'm a salesperson here at Patriot Buick GMC.
So now that you see that, is there a way to embed HTML into the automated text messaging for AMP, or still you're not sure?
It's a great question. I don't want to say, I don't want to be wrong.
No, it's okay. No, listen, but you see where I'm going with this though, right?
Yeah, I see exactly where you're going. I think it's a fantastic idea.
All right, so that's the first question. So if you could get back to me on that, like after the interview,
For sure.
obviously.
For
Now,
sure.
a couple of the questions I have is this. Okay, let's go to problems right now. One of the biggest problems out in the industry is inventory. Okay, it's inventory. So my other daughter, not Tiana, but Kalina, she works at RK, Kia, Subaru, Chevrolet, and Violin, which is also a VIN client. And she's super awesome. She's crushing it on the floor. Now she's a manager, like a customer client satisfaction manager, CSI, stuff like that. And I think she does leasing and whatnot. But when she was selling Kias, you know how the Tellurides, good luck you getting a fully loaded out, a Telluride. They're selling used ones, 2 years old, for like 8 G's over sticker. Insane. So what she would do is if she had a new car, like prospect, but didn't have inventory, she would go into her VIN without data mining, equity mining, and she would just look at a search query of any Kia Tellurides that were sold 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. And she would basically reach out and say, hey, I want to buy your car, just manually, just like, grr, And then she was taking a situation, a prospect, let's say it was Franca, that was interested in a new Telluride and that didn't have anything. And then not just find an inventory, but when she pulled that person's trade in, she bought the used car, they were out of a car. So she turned a no deal into a 2-car deal, and she didn't have AMP. So you see where my mind's going. My question is this: how can dealers that are struggling with low inventory maximize AMP to increase inventory and create opportunities for sales? That's the question.
Yeah. It's a great question. So, what AMP's going to do is it's going to automatically begin engaging the customer first, right? And then when it sees that a customer, let's say that email example I showed you earlier, let's see a customer opens the email, it can then automatically task in the CRM to call saying, hey, look, this customer just engaged with an email that AMP sent out. Customer is eligible to upgrade to a newer model using their equity. And as a result, call this customer and, try to schedule an appointment.
Let me be specific. I'm gonna redirect your second here because I understand that, but I'm excited about this. I don't know if you can tell. Like, this is not fake. I'm like, this is good. All right. This is what I love. I live for shit like this as a consultant. Go on a deal. Say, oh, let me get you some more money. Get them nets. You know what I mean? Because you need you can't carry. You're gonna have to drag the money that you're about to make here. So think about this. You've heard people in the service lane, right? Like they do hangers on the rearview mirrors, right? Yep. So I've got stores, like for example, I have a store in mine from Texas that 100% of the time when there's an RO, they literally do a quick trade appraisal right there, not even ask. So when the customer gets their vehicle after the RO clears, they get inside and there's a freaking hanger on the mirror that says, we want to buy your car. Now, some dealers that I have don't put a number on there. They just say, hey, we want to buy your car. Scan this QR code. If you're interested in selling this car, we might be able to give you more than it's worth. And there's no finite number. But then, I've got people that are using data mining, equity mining software that as they go through the RO, that this agent, they basically put the hanger in with an actual number. My question is there any way that we could calibrate AMP that every single time an RO goes through, instead of just doing the old school way of putting a physical hanging sign on the rearview mirror that says, we want to buy your car, can we do this digitally? Can we turn around and every time an RO clears, we could send the sick AMP on them, you know what I mean? To be able to want to buy a car and stuff like that. Have you had dealers that are using it like that or no? Absolutely.
In fact, we've got dealers that are one of the big things that they're doing and having a lot of success with is they're using AMP to identify customers that have upcoming service appointments in vehicles that they know they need more of in stock. So, for instance, right, great example, the Kia Telluride, right? Can't keep enough of them in my pre-owned inventory. I need more. So what we can do with AMP is we can set it up to say, hey, let's look for folks that are coming in for service appointments in the next 30 days that are driving Kia Tellurides. Let's say that also have equity in their Kia Telluride. And let's automatically, let's say 7 days before their appointment, send them an email saying, hey, look, we're excited to see you in 7 days for your service appointment, but we just want to let you know that we'd love an opportunity to buy your vehicle. And here's what we'd be willing to offer you, or here's a vehicle that you could actually be driving today, a newer vehicle, newer Kia Telluride that you could be driving today. So that's something that we see a lot of success.
So that is one of your top campaigns.
It is.
I think that makes sense in this climate. You know, the things that I learned this a long time ago. This is like kindergarten rules for entrepreneurs. The bigger the problem that you solve, the more money, more success you're going to have. Yep. And I would have to say that our industry, like any industry, has a myriad or a plethora of problems. But I'd say that right now, since post-apocalyptic pandemic, right, you know, two big problems, maybe not the only ones, but two big problems are the inventory shortage simultaneously with the crazy prices of cars. But the other one is the lack of qualified talent. You know what I mean? We've always had a problem with attrition, but what I'm finding is that there's a lot of dealerships that have a shit ton of leads. Let me just, I don't know if you know this, but if not, you should enter this into your presentation when you're pitching dealers, because you're gonna close the shit out of them and I want my check. Just kidding. Here's the data. Before the pandemic, before 2 years ago, the average buying cycle on a new car was roughly about 90 days, 83, 87 days. Yep. Now we're seeing, because of the direct to orders and the lack of new car inventory and the crazy pricing or what have you, that it is now jumped to 5.5 months is the average gestation period. I'll tell you right now, I tried to buy a $90,000 plus Lincoln Aviator from a client in Miami, and I waited 7 months on it, and I tapped out like the UFC. I was like, I give up. Fuck it, because they kept on changing the damn delivery date. Frank, right or wrong? Yeah, it was like a running joke in our office. You know what I mean? And so, with me, with all my connections, it is what it is. That's the reality. So my point being is that starting February 1st, if you go into a VinSolutions CRM, what dealers will be trained to do is, at a bare minimum, even though I just said it's 5+ months, a bare minimum, identify how many active leads are 90 days or less from the internet. The average store, if you have 500 fresh leads, that means that on the day one of the new month, you're going to have at least 1,200 plus active leads that are 90 days or less on the first of the month. And on the first of the month to the end of the month, even the shortest month in the year, like February, right, we're in right now, if you get 500 this month, that means the total amount of fresh leads between carryover and fresh in the month of February will be roughly 1,700 opportunities. So here's the conundrum. The conundrum is there's more leads than ever now, literally, because more people are searching because of the lack of inventory and because of how expensive things are, and there's less people to handle them. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, and I'm not trying to do your job for you, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking that if there was technology like this that could cut through the bullshit and doing the Belizean sweatshop of just grinding out without logic and strategy, just call with no logic, we could literally be strategic and surgical with the campaigns. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, 100%. And that way, you know, and Sean, I'm glad you brought that up, because when you've got that many leads to work, what happens, right? Your team members start getting frustrated. Yeah, like they don't get excited to come into work, right? And then we know that they start judging, like, oh, this is another one of those leads.
Yes.
Right. And they preconceived notions.
Yes.
And so we can use AMP to supplement that. So what I mean is, once the lead gets up to, let's say, 90 days old or 30 days old, let's let AMP do the engaging for the sales or BD agent, right? And let's let AMP try and, let's let AMP send the text, let's let AMP send the email. And once we see that customer reciprocate or open the email, then let's bring the BD agent back in and task them to, hey, look, we got this customer to actually engage with us. Now call. And I'll tell you what, I'd be a lot more excited as a BD agent to make a call to a lead that I know is recently engaged with some kind of messaging that came from our dealership. Would you agree?
100%. Now, because of the time, I want to just expedite the next couple of pieces of this, because then I need to talk to you offline, because I'm really excited about this stuff.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a couple other just examples? You don't have to show us, just tell us what, besides that used car or lack of inventory campaign, what are also some of the most successful and or the most profitable campaigns that a dealer could use? Like, so for example, if I was like, yo, my man, I know that you don't believe anything from any vendor, anybody. Just do this one thing. This one thing. Just give me one shot, right? Just one shot, and that's it. So what is the one thing that if they just touch it, it'll be just like, oh my God, this shit is amazing. So what else can AMP do that's either really successful or really profitable that would be like the naysayers. You know what I mean? Like, there are no aliens. There are no aliens. Oh shit, there are aliens. You know what I mean? Like, what can AMP do that would just take someone that doesn't believe anything, that it's like, oh snap, this is legit. This is too legit to quit, like Hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. We got to take the show on the road.
Yeah, man. I'm feeling it. So gosh, really what I would say is, the equity mining campaigns obviously are some of the most successful, but so are the service campaigns, like going after the customers that, service is the foundation of a dealership, right? It's a profit center. And one of the big things that we've seen a lot of success with is just consistently, going after customers that are going elsewhere for service and hitting them up with, hey, come service with us. Here's a coupon. We're seeing much higher closed RO rates.
Really, just straight conquesting?
Not conquesting. So we call them service defectors, right? So for instance, you came to my dealership at some point, Sean, you serviced your vehicle with me at some point, but it's been over 12 months. It's been over 2 years since your last came, which tells me you're probably going elsewhere, right? For maintenance. So what AMP then does is AMP's going to start engaging you, right? With emails, texts, mailers saying, hey, here's a coupon to come service your vehicle with us again. And as a result, we're seeing much higher service retention numbers, and we're seeing much higher profits from our service defector campaigns.
All right, perfect. All right, now, just because of the time, can you just show us, like in just 2 minutes, just a quick visual of Vanessa, and then we could probably do a part 2 of these things. But then I want to ask. So Trent and Franca, I'm going to ask you after he shows us the Vanessa thing for just a minute or two. I want to just get your thoughts on all the stuff that you've seen, specifically, not just it's cool, but like, how would this help our dealers? And are you guys excited at Dealer Synergy to be able to utilize this technology for our clients to help them sell more cars and more service? All right, so please show us Vanessa.
All right, so for Vanessa, I think the fastest and easiest way to show this is going to be just the different processes that Vanessa can be dropped into, and then showing you some of the real world examples of conversations that Vanessa's had. So we talked about new internet sales lead. And, for instance, a lead that comes in, let's say at 11 o'clock this evening or 5 a.m. this morning, right? People work weird schedules, and we still see about 33% of internet leads are coming in outside of normal business hours. So this is an example of what Vanessa will actually say to somebody that submitted a lead. And I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but Vanessa will reach out and she'll say, hi, Sean, this is Vanessa, your shopping assistant here at XYZ Motors. The 2019 Lexus ES you saw online is currently available and comes equipped with backup camera, lane departure, yada, yada, yada. Do you have any questions on this vehicle? Can I help you schedule a test drive? And so in this example, our customer says, hey, I want a test drive. So Vanessa responds back, hey, can definitely help you schedule a test drive. Tell me what date and time works. You hit back with, around 5 p.m. Tomorrow. And what Vanessa will do is she'll go ahead and create that appointment in the CRM, assign that appointment to a rep, whether BD agent or salesperson or a specific person within the dealership. And now you've got an appointment that's on the books.
All right. So here's my question. We could spin into this, and I don't want to, because this is already an hour and 10 minutes in here, but just like Legos, I could build a Lego masterpiece if I was a Lego master, right? And I could already tell that, with logic and, process building, it's almost like pick your own ending in a story. Like you could implement Vanessa a million different ways. My simple question is this: just for us mortals, right, to just wrap our minds around this, give us a couple ideas that if you owned a dealership, if you just put your ass and your mortgage and your family's life on this dealership and you weren't part of the Lucky Sperm Club, I mean, like you just fucking just put all this money out and someone just spotted you on Vanessa, how would you use Vanessa if you were only going to, at first, like what is the absolute maximum return on my time and money of engaging Vanessa? Where would you put her in your store?
I would definitely put Vanessa in my after hours internet lead follow-up process.
Okay.
I would also put Vanessa in my missed appointment process. So anybody that didn't show up for their appointment, stick Vanessa on them, right?
Right. Yeah.
And let me be more specific. So I'd want whoever set that appointment to give it a first crack at trying to re-engage. But if they weren't successful, then I'd have Vanessa go out and try and get in contact with that person that missed their appointment. And then lastly would be to re-engage older sales leads. So sales leads that, we see typically 5 to 7 days is when a sales lead will typically buy, some stats that we've seen recently. And when a sales lead gets past 5 to 7 days, I'm going to have Vanessa as a backup safety net to engage only if my team members are unsuccessful.
Right. I like it a lot. Now, is Vanessa applicable on the service side at all?
No, it's just for sales leads.
Okay. Now, okay, for sales leads, is there any difference for different situations? So if you have a special finance lead versus a new car lead versus a used car lead versus a trade appraisal versus an acquisition lead, is there any customization? Because those are different categories.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Sean, I know
am I asking the questions?
You're asking great questions. Yeah, no, I know that, you're such a huge advocate for the rules within our processes at VinSolutions and how we can fine tune these processes, right? Because a special finance lead and the way you follow up with a special finance lead is different than the way you follow up with a ICE Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer lead. Those are two completely different scenarios, right?
Absolutely.
And two different prospects. So you absolutely can drop Vanessa into a specialized process. So for instance, if somebody, submits a special finance application, we might want that lead going directly to our F&I manager. We might not want Vanessa being involved in that process at all, right? But, we might have a different process or a different rule set up for folks that have requested test drives. And if, we weren't successful, our team member, BD agent, salesperson, whoever got assigned that test drive lead wasn't successful in making contact within the first 10 minutes. Hey, let's have Vanessa in that process to where Vanessa reaches out only if attempted contact wasn't made in the past 9 minutes. So that's how fine-tuned and dialed in we can, set Vanessa up to be, so that, you only have it engaging with the right the right prospect at the right time.
Last and final question about Vanessa. So obviously there's people that are way more skilled in CRM process creation, engineering, and stuff like that. Obviously utilizing HTML, like the little tags that are there that you have. Do you have anybody that's become a Vanessa guru that's been able to strategically utilize Vanessa in all the places? Because I'm telling you right now, I would work that motherfucker like it was like a Belizean sweatshop, because she's not real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no child labor laws I got to worry about. I got no employment stuff. I got to don't give any breaks. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's a bad thing to say out loud on the air.
No, you're right.
Like, I would turn around and work her to fucking death. So
she never gets sick, right? Never takes smoke.
Never complains, never nothing. You know what I mean? Don't have to give her a raise and nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why wouldn't we put her in as many places as possible? So you don't have to mention, again, anybody's name or the dealership, but do you know of somebody that's maximized, that's the word, utterly maximized the hell out of the Vanessa technology in Vin? Do you have somebody like that?
Yes, we do. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I would love to talk to you offline to try to understand, because I think that the more that we understand the structure and the rules for Vanessa and the capabilities with our logic and our 20-year experience in CRM, we could turn around and build some cool Lego stuff together.
I bet. I know it.
All right. So let me now turn it over to, Trent. Trent, can you stop sharing your screen, sir? So Trent, what is your opinion? Because you are the VinSolutions performance manager employed at Dealer Synergy. You're not a VinSolutions employee, you're a Dealer Synergy employee, but your core competency is VinSolutions and CRM. What did you think about today's products and services that we just looked at for our dealers?
Yeah, I mean, everything I'm seeing is making me super excited. I'm just seeing, so many, like, my mind's kind of racing with applications, and, that this can really, really help these dealerships, succeed and, sell more cars and achieve all their goals. As he was going through it, I was, my main first thought was, wow, this is some, shiny, awesome tool with all these little buttons and everything. I just hope everyone knows how to use it the right way. And then you immediately met that objection with, that you have, the, phone scripts and everything like that, and more training to, teach them more how to apply it. So, I mean, that was my only real objection, is like, maybe, we don't want these customers to know that we know all this stuff. So I think that's definitely really good that it comes. And so do those phone scripts and everything, do those come with AMP, like immediately loaded into their dealership?
They do, yeah. So when we implement the product, we provide them during the implementation process, and we review them with the dealer to make sure that they're aware of them and that they're good with the messaging that's incorporated into the phone scripts and email templates.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And my only other question was, so I know you mentioned that AMP also like leverages like the automotive intelligence stuff like that. So are they completely independent? Do you need automotive intelligence to have AMP? Do they work better when you have them together?
That's a great question. Yeah. So you don't need automotive intelligence to get AMP, right? AMP's still going to leverage the buying signals and automatically engage the customers that are out there actively shopping or ready to buy. But when you pair AMP together with automotive intelligence, it's more powerful. And the reason being is because when AMP tells you that a customer that has buying signals just recently opened up an email, if you're in the CRM and you don't have automotive intelligence, you can't actually see the details of the buying signals. So you can't see what other vehicles that customers maybe been looking at online. You can't see that they're very likely to trade in a vehicle, or that they've been to Kelley Blue Book recently and they did a My Car Value appraisal on their vehicle when they were shopping Kelley Blue Book or researching on Kelley Blue Book. So that, to me, is one of the biggest reasons why you want to use automotive intelligence and AMP together, is so that you've got a clear picture of what the customer's actually been doing behind the scenes, the digital breadcrumbs, so to speak.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, great question.
Franca, what about you? What are your thoughts on these 3 different resources from VinSolutions?
I feel like all of them just really help you work smarter, not harder. And it really gives you the advantage over your competition with the intelligence and then the after-hour responses and things of that nature. So you're not missing out on any opportunities. We talk about how, HR is a challenge, right? But if you have these tools, it really will help you. We say we don't have enough people, but too many leads. But using these tools helps you make sure you're not missing out on opportunities. So I'm really excited about all 3 of them. And honestly, just seeing your excitement, Rob, about these tools makes me want to learn more about them and get more involved in them as well.
Awesome.
I love it. And Franca, here's where I'm going with this. Obviously, we support a tremendous amount of VinSolutions dealers. So the more that we understand the tool, we could help, Rob, just so you understand, in the initial, well, first of all, if we have clients that don't have AMP, I could definitely see us recommending these products, because I'm going on record to say right now, I believe they will help dealers sell more cars more often, more profitably with less aggravation. But now, recommending thing is one. Second is making sure and helping the dealers, Franca, in implementing the strategy. Helping, them as the Vin team onboards them. We're coming in and supporting them from the onboarding stage to the training stage, but most importantly to the implementation stage. So Rob, just so you know, part of what dealers hire us for is not just customizing, like loading in our tons of content, 500 plus pieces of templates, scripts, objections, rebuttals, automation, all the shit that we do, right? But we don't just load it in, we customize it. So Trent, when he's talking about his phone processes, no disrespect, you know what I mean? But we're gifted at what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are gifted at software. Your number one core competency isn't scripts and process training. You're a CRM and technology gurus. So with us is that if we were going to utilize this for our dealers, it's like we do with the regular VIN platform. We would look at all their templates, scripts, and then break them down to our processes. We would use elements in the foundation. We wouldn't just like say poo-poo. No, they built them for a reason, but we would, no disrespect, but just straight up Beyonce upgrade them, to our dealer synergy premium level. And then what we would do is be able to do the things I was saying, figure out where we could turn around and utilize video and the most advanced strategies to maximize what they built. And that's what It was beautiful about like Facebook or like Google, those are Leviathan, or Apple, those are Leviathan companies. And there's all these other brilliant companies that are supporting and expanding the original said technology, like the App Store, the Google Store, etc. So for us, our responsibility is to take this brilliant platform, customize it, utilize it the right way. Because let's be honest with you, let's cut through the bullshit. 90% of CRMs, just the basic CRM, is not set up correctly, not utilized correctly, not managed correctly. And if you think it is, you're delusional. And even if it was, there's a freaking 70-80% attrition ratio. So the motherfuckers you trained are gone in the next couple months. Yep. So the reality is that even if you have the best technology, if it's not set up, trained, and managed and evolved, it's not going to last. So for us, like, I like the starting point, but what we need to do is learn more, synergize more, and then be able to figure out how we could utilize this in our strategy. But frankly, here's what I'm really excited about, which is different than the CRM, is the fact that if a dealership doesn't maximize this resource for whatever, but if they're one of our Dealer Synergy and VinSolutions joint clients, like the many that we have, our team, your team under you, can actually implement and execute this shit with or without the dealer's intervention and help them sell cars and make money, which is really great for us at Dealer Synergy. Because to be honest with you, I speak dealer and GM. It's called money, 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 meaning that they don't give a shit if we train them, we excite them, we motivate them, or we do it ourselves for them. But bottom line is, if they are making more money, selling more cars, however we manage to do it, by magic, my manifestation, or by sweat labor, that's what dealers care about, is have we helped to move the needle. And I honestly think with this type of technology, this will help us at Dealer Synergy, for us to do our job, to help other dealers sell more cars more profitably, more often. All right, so I'm going to give you, Rob, the closing out. So anything you like to say in closing about Vin or these products or life?
Yeah. Well, first of all, just thank you for this opportunity to jump on here. This wasn't scripted. Like, you called me up and we were just supposed to do this one-on-one together. And we were like, hey, you want to do this live? And I said yes. So just want to make sure everybody out there knows that. And I'm very thankful for this opportunity. So thank you first and foremost. Secondly, the last, just to wrap it up, put a bow on it. Hey, like I said, these are like some of the best products, most excited I've been. For AMP, what we're seeing from our return on investment is the average dealer sees 8 times the return on investment when they have AMP. When they use AMP and direct mailing or text messaging, they're seeing 10 times the return on investment on average, right? So we're seeing, obviously money is being made just by using AMP, but when Dealer Synergy comes into play and really customizes it, the potential for the ROI is even greater, right? I couldn't agree more, Sean. And then, we talked about with Automotive Intelligence, helping you to find your customers that are 15 times more likely to buy in the next 30 days, 7 times more likely to buy in the next 30 days. That's obviously data that can get your sales team and BD agents excited. And, with Dealer Synergy, take it even to the higher level. And then lastly, with Vanessa, just, a fantastic product, as you guys hopefully saw, and
yes.
Definitely excited about how much better it would be, obviously, with our partnership with Dealer Synergy.
No, 100%. Thank you for your time. How could someone get a hold of you if they're interested in a personal demo for AMP, Vanessa, or Automotive Intelligence? So give them your email or phone number or both, or your social media.
Yeah. So hit me up. My number is 816-215-2752. Call me, text me. Just don't prank call me. And then also my email is robert.degeorge@coxautoinc.com. I know that's a mouthful, but it's robert.degeorge@coxautoinc.com.
All right, well, listen, my friend, I think you got one like Khaled, DJ Khaled, another one. You know what I mean? You got another one. All right, listen, I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the stream right here, and we're out.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856 855-446-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.